guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Logues. Welcome back to Voice Logues. And I hope you're having a very awesome Friday, if it is Friday when you're listening to this. If not, I hope you're having a very awesome day or night or whenever you're listening to this. I just hope you're being awesome because I know you're awesome because I've said it before. Because you're listening to the Logues and you're listening to Voice Logues, so you're awesome. So, in this episode, you awesome people, we're going to focus on a fun sort of topic, a topic I feel like it needs to be said because I don't know. I just I was looking at my phone and somebody had just sent me a message, and instantly I was like, oh, I'll respond to that later. And I was like, why? Why just not pick up the phone now and just respond to the person who sent me the message right away, right now? And it was weird to me that that's where my head went first. Like just oh yeah, no, I'll respond to them later. I'll leave that until later. Or yeah, stuff like that. Just why? I don't understand that sort of thinking, and I think that's where a lot of people's minds go to first too. It's kind of weird that especially when it comes to texting, and especially when it comes to these sort of direct messaging services, social media, things like that, where there is a disconnect, where it's not like a phone call where you have to pick up, or I mean, even then you don't have to pick up. You can let it go to voicemail, but it's different when it's a text and you could hear what the person has to say, or you can see what the person has to say, rather, in the text, and they you just ignore them. So I figured I'd make a podcast about this because I was like, maybe I need to get my opinion out there. And I was like, what better way to get an opinion out than on Voice Logues, on the Logues podcast, where I have an awesome community of people that are really ready and willing to hear an opinion and are ready to think about it and think about it critically and care about the opinion. So here's the opinion, or here's my sort of an opinion. Yeah, I was gonna say my perspective, but a perspective is technically an opinion. So why not just send a text back when you see that somebody has messaged you? When somebody cares to message you, just send a text back. Just send whatever message back. You're in the Instagram DMs and stuff like that. DMs are direct messages. For those of you that do not know, why not take the time, the 10 seconds it takes to look at the text, read the text, and then send it back? Why not take that time and give that person the time of day? It doesn't really make sense. You can't logically fight that. That's the thinking. Because in the end, it's somebody giving you their time. They want to connect with you, and they care about connecting with you. Whatever text that may be, it's a funny joke, or they're really something serious that they want to talk to you about. It's a form of, it's an extension of their caring for you, and taking, or rather not taking the time to care and to respond and to think about that person, or just, you know what, I'm just going to forget about it until later. I'll answer that later. It's rude. It's rude, especially when you're thinking about that, and that other person is just, they may be waiting for that text. They might be waiting for you to hear back from you. Maybe they want to know, they want to get in a conversation with you, and they want to talk with you because you're interesting. Because you're listening to the Logues. Of course, I know that. You're an interesting person. So why not give that person your undivided attention for 10 seconds and send that text back? It's an interesting sort of thing to think about. It's simple. It's simple that you can get this concept right away. It's not a weird sort of hypothetical thought experiment. It is what it is. It's just giving the person your time, a minuscule amount of time, but it is your time. It's giving the person who wants to talk to you, your care. And it's not fair if I was trying to see if I could find a rhyme, but it's not fair if there's only one side to a relationship in that case. Because communication is a really big issue nowadays. And we've said it on the podcast before. People don't know how to communicate very much anymore, especially across whatever lines or divisions that we as a society put amongst each other. And we just, be that religion or politics or a race or gender or whatever. It's hard, especially hard nowadays, and there's no real reason for it, right? Because if you give that person, whoever they are, the person that's a little bit different from you, but again, that's stressing the little bit. If you give that person the time of day, if you care enough to just hear that person out, you're going to be better for it. And you'll maybe make a friend or keep a friend. In my case. The thing is, life is so short and every minute feels so long sometimes. So why not take a second to just use a part of that minute to just talk to somebody? You may find yourself using multiple minutes after, when you enjoy their company and when you find someone who really looks back at you as they do themselves, an extension of themselves, a friend. And it comes from simple things. It comes from just random encounters and things like that. We have to be more open, I believe, with one another. Because there's the other thing. And I was thinking about this yesterday. I don't understand why people just don't say sometimes when it's appropriate what they're thinking. Take an example. Let's see. Let's try to think of an example. Let's see. I can't think of something now, right off the top of my head. Something where, to diffuse the situation, it could just be, it's blatantly obvious to just say, hey, you know what? Oh, that was embarrassing. Or, oh, it's like, here. This is an example here where a lot of the times when you're giving a speech, a person or whoever a professional speaker can give a piece of advice that the professional speaker can give you is to address from the beginning that you're nervous. Or I've heard this a lot, especially with interviews, when you're interviewing for school or a job or whatever. You can say, they ask you some sort of question, and then you say before you start your answer, it's like, oh, I'm sorry if I stuttered a little bit, I'm a little nervous. It kind of diffuses the situation there. You don't have to put up a front, because everybody, or there's some common knowledge that, oh, you know what? Yeah, if you're going to give a speech in front of 1,000 people, you're going to be a little nervous. If you're going to go to an interview or for a job that you need, a job that you really love, and the job that you want, or say a school that you want to get into, whatever, you're going to be a little nervous. So why not just diffuse the situation from the beginning and say, hey, you know what? I'm a little nervous here. But I will, or just something like that. I'm a little nervous, and then go take a pause, a breath, and then go into your answer and just be honest. And that comes with communication, because you put up a wall when you do something like that, when you just go right into your thing and you start stuttering and you start sweating and and you're scared of, oh, you know what, they're thinking bad of me. They're thinking, oh, I'm not capable. I can't do this school or this job or whatever. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because, we're all adults in the end, and it doesn't make sense to kind of like not use your voice and, just kind of go through life without just talking to others, just saying, hey, you know what? This is how it is, or just say, oh, you know what, I don't know. I heard a speech or a TED talk actually from Dr. Mike. I'm going to butcher his last name. It's Dr. Mike. He's a DO. He's like the most followed doctor on all social media. If you just look up Dr. Mike, you'll find his YouTube channel. That's his YouTube channel name, I think, Dr. Mike. And he says people suffer with a know-it-all complex. And in this TED talk, he says it gives a few years back, I think. And he was relating it specifically to doctors, people that you'd think should know everything. And from my experience, especially now, 8 weeks into med school and interacting with a lot of doctors throughout my studies, you'll find that, they're human. It makes sense, right? That, they don't know everything. They're struggling to find the answers just as much as everybody else in whatever other profession that exists. So, oh no, I lost my train. Oh, no, here we go. We go back to, the know-it-all complex and the idea that somebody like a medical professional should know everything in their career or in whatever it is, but sometimes it humanizes the person when you say, oh, you know what, I don't know, versus just going about whatever your day of going about this meeting. Say you're in a business meeting and somebody asks you, oh, what is this? Or did you get the data for this? Or, whatever. Did you get the quarterlies all set up? And what is this value? Whatever. I don't know. And you say, oh, you don't know. Like, you really don't know. Maybe you didn't check it. Maybe it slipped your mind. And you're like, oh, you know what? I'm not sure about that. Can I check back with you? I think that humanizes you much more than just, kind of saying, oh, yeah, I have it here, it's in my, thing here. Let me find it. Just say, oh, I'm not sure about that. Can I get back to you? I'm going to go check my office right now. I think it makes you much more of a human. Because you're communicating out loud. You're like, hey, you know what? I'm an adult human. This person who wants whatever data from me is an adult human. Let me just tell you, I do my job well, and this number just slipped my mind. It's not like I'm just going about my day not caring about everything. It's just a number. It slipped my mind. Whatever it is, slipped my mind, and I just need to go check up on that. I have all my paperwork ready. I'm doing my job. It's just, what it is. It's an issue with communication. People not using that voice that they have, that capability that no other, the level, a capability to the level that no other organism has, because other organisms, they can communicate, but not as effectively and as efficiently that we can. Because I'm communicating to you right now. You could be listening to this anywhere in the world. And as long as you understand the code of words and sounds that I'm saying through my mouth right now, into this microphone, you can understand me. And even if you can't, you could always Google Translate it. Because we also have the technology to do so. So why not just take the time to talk and say, yes, or no, I don't know what that means. Can I get back to you? Yes, I'm very fond of that thing. Or, whatever. It's sad when we kind of cage off our ability to communicate and just get real with one another when there's no reason for it. And this is all over a text. So it's interesting. It's an interesting conversation, and I think that it's one that needs to be had because it's here. It's on voice logs. It's something that I think everybody should care about. Everybody, including myself, should be more vocal about whatever and everything that we encounter and the people that we encounter. Just be honest with the people that you encounter, because they are people too. And hopefully, if you are honest and you do care about being honest, then they will be honest with you or to you. That's the hope, at least. So, thank you for tuning into this episode of Voice Logs. We'd love to hear from you, so please go see us on all our social media platforms, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Chat with us, talk to us. Go and follow the Logues anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can go also to our YouTube channel where we have full transcription of the episode. If you just click closed captioning, you can go to the merch store and purchase some very fine styles from the Logues, and just have an awesome day. Keep on being awesome. Keep on listening to the Logues. I care about you. And we'll see you on the next episode.